Welcome to Passed Out. I'm Josh.
I'm Arash.
All right, how we doing today, man?
Pretty good. It's like thunderstorming out here, so you might hear some weather.
Yeah. I'm excited for today. I'm going to see Superman tonight, so I'm fucking stoked.
That's right.
Dude, it's yeah,
I need
it
to go see it. I
all the dude, it's getting really good fucking reviews. I saw a couple bad reviews last night, but like I just think they're haters,
well, Dean
probably.
Cain, which is like the worst Superman ever, he's like it's woke
You don't
because
like
he,
Dink?
he talks about being a good person, so it's woke. Dean Cain, who when I was in high school, we had this health teacher who also served as the girls' volleyball coach. He was a creep as well, but he was telling us that like Dean Cain came to our high school and was hitting on all the volleyball chicks who he knew they were clearly under 18, and
Yeah.
he was probably my age now, going to a high school hitting on chicks. That's fucking creepy as shit. And now he's talking about wokeness.
Yeah. You really think he was the worst Superman?
I can't think of a worse one.
I guess I can't think of a worse one either, but I have a really I have a place in my heart for Lois and Clark. So I kind of loved that show. I really liked, but I think what did it for me in that show was Terry Hatcher. I loved Terry Hatcher as Lois Lane.
Yeah,
Like she,
he was a
she was the
decent
heart
Clark
of that
Kent.
fucking show.
He was a decent Clark Kent, but and I guess you could say that it was more focused on Clark Kent than Superman in that show.
It Yeah, it was really focused on the secret identity, and in that Lois didn't know that Clark was Superman. That was like the very end of the show was her figuring it out. So, like the whole show is like yeah, like them trying to hide it and just,
What are you doing here, Clark?
like, where's Clark? Just the whole show just where's Clark at?
Oh, let me take off my glasses. Oh my god, you're Superman.
But yeah, I'm fucking stoked for Superman tonight. Excited to see that. Trying to think what else we got in entertainment stuff.
Oh, speaking of movies, Street Fighter, there's some new casting on there.
Okay, the one that I'm the most excited about is I love David Dashmalchian
Dude,
as
yes.
M. Bison, bro. Like
I'm
that
glad
is
you mentioned
just
that.
such a good fucking casting. I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
share my screen so I can pull up the picture of that.
Yeah, he was great in Late Night with the Devil.
Bro, that was literally one of my favorite movies last year. But dude, I think this is gonna be really fucking good.
And I think he's either
So
Armenian or he might be one of my people. But people are saying that, oh, he's not bulk enough to play Bison. But those people have not played Street Fighter 2. Bison was pretty slim in that. And
yeah, dude, and that's kind of the version that I was thinking of. Like was
mhm.
like the Street Fighter 2, like especially like Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, like version of Bison. I was like, Dash Malshin's fucking perfect.
And he kind of has the build of Raul Julia too.
Yeah.
And Raul Julia was fantastic.
Yeah, dude, I liked Raul Julia too. The most redeeming factor of that movie, which we talked about last time, but just praise due where praise is due, right?
Right. Um, there's also, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but Cody Rhodes, who he's the WWE superstar. I think
I did see that.
is he the nephew of Goldust or is he the son of Goldust?
I'm not sure. I don't follow wrestling. I haven't followed wrestling real close since like 2001, probably.
Yeah, the Attitude
Maybe
Era.
2002. Yeah, dude. Like I really haven't like paid attention since that. Like
For me, it died once Stone Cold and The Rock weren't in their peak anymore.
yeah.
But I think Cody does look like a Guile. I think that would be a perfect fit. And then you have
Yeah, he
another
does look like
wrestler
a
in
guy.
Roman Reigns in there.
Mhm.
So there'll be hype for it just because a lot of people still watch wrestling, but ooh, you're taking a big risk there with some people who don't have experience on the big screen.
Yeah. I feel like wrestlers who cross over have pretty good success though.
Yeah,
You know?
except for Hulk Hogan, but Hulk Hogan was more of a gimmick than an act. Like,
Yeah. But like um I really like Dave Bautista. Like I like him in most shit I see him in. Like I love him in Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and like I really liked him in. He was so good in Glass Onion.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Bro, you have to watch Glass Onion. Knives Out, I Knives Out's okay, but dude, Glass Onion is so good. And like part of that is just Dave Bautista being really fucking good at what he does in that movie. So, but also Edward Norton fucking crushes in
I
that movie.
mean, you could have just said Edward Norton's in it, and I would have known he crushed it.
Yeah, dude. so, uh, so yeah, dude, you got to watch Glass Onion. It's really good.
Oh wow.
Um,
Well, have you seen the King of the Hill trailers?
yes, it kind of gave me life.
Yeah,
I
I really like
just
it.
thinking about Hank Hill, just thinking about Hank, the fact that like, and the fact that I kind of live in that area now, and just like I have like that back patio, like I my garage opens in the back alley, kind of like they always stand out there. But like, dude, yeah, just watching Hank Hill just interact with like modern times, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be so good. There were
Dale
some
sounds good.
really yeah, there were some really funny things in that trailer that I really liked. Um, it's like the second we get on here, my brain just forgets everything.
Well,
Um,
in the story, apparently, uh, Hank and Peggy go to Saudi Arabia and for propane, which I find hilarious.
that is
But
so funny.
but we all know it's like a metaphor for oil. So he was probably on some like American base in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah,
but it's just selling propane to American contractors. And I would
Saudi Arabia.
love a spin-off series where he's in Saudi Arabia and he's like, that boy ain't right, to all the Saudis.
Yeah. Were you offended at their at the that's not a real sport soccer joke?
No, that's
Okay.
uh that's as American as apple pie.
It was so funny. Also, Bobby working at like a hibachi restaurant.
And then he has like this craft, he's making craft beer in a garage.
I
They're
know,
talking
dude. That
about
was
fruit.
I know. When Hank was like, he's like, I've been drinking beer for 40 years, and the last thing I ever thought that beer needed was to be more fruity.
But Bobby's been getting it. There's at least two chicks he's
Dude,
hooking up with.
I know, I saw that. The one chick had like this part, like Skrillex, like the
Oh,
shaved part of
the
her.
one that Peggy calls a vegan.
Yeah.
She's a vegan.
She's like, what am I supposed to feed her? When Hank
Put
said,
some
can we just
grass in a
put some
bowl.
grass in a bowl? Oh man.
I can't
You
wait.
know, dude, Mike Judge, he doesn't fucking miss for me. Like literally everything he does, I'm like, yes, I love it.
Have we
Office
talked about
Space,
the new Beavis and Buttheads? Have you seen those?
yes, dude, they're so
Oh my
funny,
gosh.
dude. I
Them
love it.
them in their 40s is the best thing that he's ever done with those characters.
I know, it's so
Methed out
funny.
Beavis and Fat Butthead.
Yeah,
Too
dude, it's
good.
so funny.
Yeah, Mike Judge can't miss. You're right.
I know, dude.
Idiocracy, Office Space. I've
Yeah, dude,
never
it's
watched
so.
Silicon Valley though.
I haven't either, but I'm sure it's good. The now that he's rebooted Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, I'm like just secretly hoping for a Daria fucking reboot. Like
He
I
was not involved with Daria though.
was
It
he
was
not?
just no. They
Was it just
used
a
that
they?
character.
So MTV just he didn't write Daria. MTV just used his character from Beavis and Butthead and like kind of booted their own thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. But I
I
love
know
that show.
she.
Don't get me wrong.
I love
I
Daria
loved
too.
it.
I but like
Quinn.
this whole time I've thought it was like I really thought it was fucking Mike Judge. Like it kind of plays like his comedy, but it's
Yeah.
I like how deadpan Daria was. It was just so good, just real satirical. It was also pretty political, so like I kind of leaned into that and just like she was like she, they would call Daria woke for sure. Like
Yeah, she's a radical feminist.
yeah.
They did
Uh-huh.
have. I didn't know this till a few nights ago that there was a show called The Goods, like Goodes, and it lasted for only 13 episodes. It was like a left-leaning version of King of the Hill. I had no idea about
Really?
this. Yeah.
I didn't know about that either. That's crazy. What
Mm-hmm.
years did that run?
I think late 2000s, maybe.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
It did look pretty bad because I don't know. I would have to watch it. I'm sure there's some gold in there, but people just got offended. I'm sure executives are like, this hits too close to home.
Yeah, bro, they got like there's like the pictures on here are like fucking Mike Judge is a creator on here.
Okay, so it is his show.
Yeah, dude, it's his show. It's Mike Judge, and it's got Linda Cardellini in it. Hold on, let me
I
fucking
wonder if it was on Fox. I don't remember anything about it.
I've never seen any dude, I don't recognize this at all. I'm gonna share my screen just so you can see some of these pictures that I'm looking at. But like this doesn't look familiar at all to me, but this this guy's cracking me up with his little fucking vest.
It's like from a distance, it looks like a Rasta poncho.
It kind of does.
The
He's got
dad
like
looks
a
ridiculous.
yeah, he does. He kind of looks like a man. What am I? Have you watched Big Mouth? It looks like the main kid in Big Mouth grown up.
Kind of looks like a dorky Rob.
Interesting. That's so funny.
So yeah, I'm stoked for that.
I'm stoked for that too.
Apparently, Scrubs has been greenlit for a revival.
Never actually like watched Scrubs in its entirety.
It has so much praise, but I never. I guess it kind of like Community. That's another show that has gotten a lot of praise, but I never really got too into it.
Yeah, I never really got into it either.
What else you got?
Should we get into today's topic? I think that's all the entertainment news I have for this week. I will next Saturday when we get on, I will give a Superman review, spoiler free as best as I can. It'll be a week at that point. You're listening to Passed Out, the podcast where history, mystery, the occult, and the cosmos collide. Every week we explore new conspiracies, uncover hidden truths, question the impossible, and journey into the unknown. Stay curious, and welcome to Passed Out. Let's get into today's topic, which
kind of ties into the weather I'm seeing today. It's raining pretty hard.
Yeah, the weather's been crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on in Washington surrounding weather modifications and things like that. Lots of crazy talk because of the tragedy over 4th of July weekend at Camp Mystic here in Texas. There are still people missing, and there are still people here looking for them. So this is just over 120 dead so far as the counter, and there's still people missing a week after the fact. So it's just terribly sad. There's a lot of there's been a lot of criticism on both sides. The Republicans are saying that it's weather modifications that are leading to issues like this by I guess they can do something to the clouds to make it rain.
Yeah, there's well, this got I think it was England that admitted to this a month or two ago that they've been doing some sort of cloud seeding to help prevent like the sun from hitting as much, which is funny because England is not known for being sunny.
Yeah, dude, it's like an extremely rainy place.
But what I find a little ironic or funny is certain people think that although I think there's some truth to this, but it's funny that people think that cloud seeding is real, but global warming isn't a thing. Like there's no contribution from mankind to help that process happen. But oh yeah, okay, we're gonna fucking put clouds in the skies, and that's why it's raining so much.
Yeah, no, I look, I fully believe that. I fully believe in global warming. I do think that carbon emissions do have a huge effect on our weather patterns. But like also, weather patterns go through, if you look at the history of the planet, like
Yeah.
the planet cools, it warms, it just kind of goes through a natural process. I think as humans, we're chasing a level of comfort that we want to stay the same. So like, the planet having its own cycle of weather, I think, just kind of impacts our like level of comfort, and like what we want to see for our lives. So
Who did they say?
um
Is there a theory on who's doing the cloud seeding? Like, it's our own government or it's China or some shit?
I didn't get that far. I just
It's Mossad.
the craziest thing I think about this is that like you see NOAA funding cut, you see National Weather Service funding cut. You're getting a lot less you're getting a lot less accuracy in the weather reports, and you're also getting a lot less you're not getting warnings as early as you were. I think that this is going to be a huge issue as we drift back into the other side of tornado season. um we'll maybe start seeing like shorter warnings for tornadoes, and that might cause a huge issue. But the fact that like we can't predict how much, like, so here in Texas they predicted 4 to 6 inches of rain that day, and it rained like 6 feet in an hour. Like it caused that river to overflow. And
6 feet?
yeah,
I thought it
like
was
it
like
hold on,
12
let me
inches, which is
no
still a
hold,
lot. But 6 feet, 72 inches, that is fucking nuts. Because from what I heard, it was enough to overflow a river, and that area was a floodplain already.
yeah, so it was a floodplain. Let me try and find some information that backs up what I'm saying, because I could be wrong. I'm not a
So
weather expert at any point. I
North Carolina got hit. I know there was a tornado warning in DC a couple nights ago. But that also does make sense because if you're going to have tropical storms right now, it's pretty hot outside. So you're going to see a lot more tornadoes. It's hurricane season here down in Florida, which I'm a little
so
excited and scared about.
yeah. So here's this graph that I'm looking at now. All right, look at this graph. Okay, so July 3rd. So this is the morning. So like at 2:45 a.m. it was like a half a foot, and then but at a certain point, like the water level in that river jumped up to 34 feet, dude. Like, and this is like a person here, and that's why like so many people got washed away in the fucking river.
I'm sorry, but that little like that person standing there is pretty unnecessary. I think we know
I
about
know.
how tall people
I
are, dude.
know. Also, the fact that he's like got his like hands in his pocket and he's just
Yeah, it looks
standing.
so casual. It
Oh
looks like, remember my Dallas businessman logo?
yeah,
Kind of looks like that.
yeah. So yeah, it just yeah, dude, that river rose pretty
Rizzer,
heavily. I'm trying to see how
Rizzer.
much rain. River. So yeah,
How
it's just
far
they
is
got a
that
lot of
from
rain.
you?
Um, that's like 30 miles north of San Antonio. It's like
Okay.
yeah, it's
So
like
by New Braunfels and shit.
yeah, right around there. Yeah, like that was the Guadalupe River that rose up around Camp Mystic. So like that was right there. So
Damn. So it's not as remote as I thought. I mean, that immediate area is pretty remote, but
yeah,
San
dude, it was
Antonio
like
being,
yeah, it's not far from San Antonio.
wow.
Yeah, might be 60 miles. Don't don't quote me for actual statistics. I'm guessing. Close.
But 60 miles north would be close to Austin anyway, so it is
Yeah, dude, it's
near.
between Austin and San Antonio. Terrible. How much of this do you think is attributed to solar flares
Oh man.
when it comes to the weather stuff?
So, well, there's a few things with the solar flares. So I was gonna go over this kind of weird prediction, which involves dreams. So I'm gonna sound fucking nuts right now,
For it.
but so I had this weird dream about a year ago, and no, maybe like 6 months ago, and I was in a mall world type place, and we talked about mall world before, and I'm standing right outside of the mall, and I look at my watch, and it says 12 a.m. on the dot, but it's bright as fuck outside. And then I look at it again, it still says 12, and I look up again, and then there's like a white light that just basically swallows me, and I wake up in a panic. My heart's racing. It's like 4 a.m. I can't go back to sleep. And I'm just thinking about this weird dream. And somewhere in that dream also I had it was it was like a weird promotion for a Mortal Kombat movie. It was like two Kung Laos fighting with each other. So that gave me like a reference of time that, like, usually they promote movies, what, 2 months in advance, a month or
Yeah,
two.
that's yeah, like heavy promotion a month or two. You get a first trailer like typically about 6 months out. Maybe a teaser trailer 9 months to a year out.
Yeah, I think the trailer is coming this month for Mortal Kombat anyways. And so I always put the timeline right around July through September for if this is a predictive dream. And I had no idea what a Carrington event was, and a Carrington event is an extreme solar flare that fucks up infrastructure, like it'll fuck up electronics, um, any anything that has to do with like electricity. Oh, did you hear that thunder?
I hear it, yeah.
Yeah. And the last Carrington event that happened was late 1800s, so there really wasn't much infrastructure relating to electricity and stuff like that. So if one were to occur today, it would wipe out a lot of the what are the hubs of electricity called? Man, I blink out too every time I come on here.
The grid?
Yeah, grids. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be catastrophic to the grids. And uh, something notable about a Carrington event is that it fucks up the magnetosphere of the Earth to where it looks like it's daytime for it could be a few minutes that it'll look like daytime. And so I always wonder if that was a Carrington event that I saw. Another odd thing was I had no idea what a Carrington event was until that very day when I had that dream. I was watching the Y Files, and he goes over what a Carrington event is, and he was like, "Oh, the next big one is projected to be 2025," and this episode was late 2023, early
Mm,
2024.
yeah.
So I really hope I'm just tripping, which I most likely am. But if not, we're gonna get fucked up in the next 2 months. And all these weather changes. There's a guy I watch on YouTube, Stefan Burns. Shout out to him. And he covers all these like solar events. He just tracks the sun, and there would be big ass spots that explode with plasma. And if it's facing the Earth, they can tell. And there's a correlation between that and earthquakes. And if it heats up the ionosphere of the Earth, plates get more active. And there's been a lot more earthquakes lately, like in Japan, there's been rumblings. Italy, there's been rumblings. Italy, especially, is bad because there's quite a few volcanoes in that area that are not necessarily dormant, and it can cause some Cause some issues. Not quite like Yellowstone. If Yellowstone erupts, we're fucked. So these are
Yeah.
just things that, and it kind of ties into this cloud seeding, because if cloud seeding is a thing, it would be done through HARP, which is the weather modification system. And there's people that say that the U.S. government have used HARP to cause earthquakes in North Korea to dismantle their nuclear ambitions. When during that Israel Iran thing, there were a few earthquakes in Iran. Those could have been bunker busters just going off on the seismogram, but it didn't really line up with the timing of the bombings. I think there was even a weird earthquake that happened in China that was attributed to possible U.S. intervention with the seismographs. So these things are not, although not proven real, there's some theories based on some sort of substance. And have you, speaking of HARP and DARPA, have you heard about um, them using mushrooms for like to make buildings and shit?
Yes, dude. I looked at that.
Yeah.
I was looking at like they were like building like a little dome house out of like kind of a composite material made from mushrooms.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like it almost looked like that kind of cardboard that like comes in like electronics packaging.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
apparently it's really durable and it could withstand earthquakes. I would imagine it, having natural shock type
Yeah.
structure to where it would just wobble and it wouldn't crumble.
Yeah, I think, dude, RDJ has like a crazy like house like that, dude. Like, but it's made out of concrete, but it like is resistant to earthquakes and like it's 100% like renewable energy on his property. Yeah, you know about this?
No. So you went full Iron Man?
Yes, dude. Disney's paying him so much fucking money that like, yeah, of course he can do whatever he wants. But let me see if I can pull this up. But
I would invest in mushrooms if I had like extra money to invest with. Any company that is doing any type of mushroom research, it's probably going to be getting bought up by DARPA. Then again, you'd have to be an idiot to follow my financial advice. So don't quote me on that.
hold on, I just
A lot of celebrities are making bunkers, dude.
I
A,
know.
a lot of the quote unquote elite, which I hate that term. People just watch you on a screen. You're not any better.
Yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen. Hold on, I might be getting an ad that's not letting this fucking website pop up.
This guy is mad. I love it. I love it when it rains here. It's so much cooler, both literally and.
I'm having trouble pulling up like what I was talking about,
Oh, we could edit all this dead time out.
but let me see if I can. But he basically bought this proper. So look at his house in this picture right here, okay?
Wow.
So like this is like a concrete. Let me see if I can. So it's called Binnish shell, and it's a sustainable home design. And I was reading about it the other day where like it's fucking crazy, but like look at this, dude. It's like super modern and sleek and really cool, but like it's 100% like renewable energy and like open windows, but it's made out of like a type of concrete that can withstand natural disasters.
Hmm. It looks both
So
ancient and modern at the same time.
yeah, dude, it's crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
super fucking sick. I wish my house looked like this, but look at this thing, dude. It looks kind of like, dude, this looks like Luke's fucking aunt and uncle. This looks like
There's
Uncle
this
Owen's house, right?
there's this
On Tatooine.
there's this hotels in southern Iran that are like mushrooms. The guy who goes there is like, this looks like fucking Tatooine. It looks just like that.
Yeah, and the mushrooms kind of remind me of the Binnish shell of his house, and I'm gonna try and look to see what Binnish shell is and try and just redeem myself a little bit. I'll be as good as Jamie one day, but until then, so let's see what Binnish shell is.
I'm afraid to screen share now after the disaster that was the last time. Just kicking myself off the room.
I guess Binnish shell houses aren't that expensive, but yeah, it's like it's like a house built 100% out of concrete.
And that's
So,
renewable? I mean, I guess it is renewable. Because it's never going to fucking.
so yeah, it doesn't really. I guess you probably have to patch it and shit like that, just like you do the road. But like, I think it's probably more complicated than just regular concrete. So, but like his property, he's got like all solar panels and like lives like 100% like on a renewable energy source. But if you have the money to build your own solar farm on your property, then yeah. But like most people don't have the money to get themselves off the grid.
Remember those container homes in Vegas, downtown?
Yeah.
Container
Mm-hmm.
park? I would be down to live in something
Container
like
park.
that.
I would live in a container. I've thought about like putting a container like in like at the very back of my yard and just running power out to it and and like turning it into a studio, like a studio container, like out in the yard.
Do we have anything else on the docket? Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I kind of touched on that in the beginning. All I really know is that she has introduced a bill in the House to stop weather modification. So
But if it's not
basically,
admitted,
whoever's seeding the clouds, she wants them to stop. Basically,
how are you going to enforce that if nobody's admitting to it?
do we know that for sure?
It's really weird because these are the people that are saying that like global warming isn't a thing, and then they expect companies to come and admit that they're changing the weather. it's I like I like MTG, but
The state
sometimes
governments of California, Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, North Dakota, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming have all admitted to using a cloud seeding technique to increase precipitation.
no fucking way. When did this
Cloud
happen?
seeding projects are funded at the state or local level, often through water conservation districts and county commissions.
Nevada's been doing a shitty job then, because it barely rains there.
Yeah.
They need to just put it above Lake Mead and have it rain for like 2 years.
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe there's not enough. So my understanding, I watched a video the other day, and my understanding is that you can't just create a cloud with rain above your city. So if there are no clouds with rain that are just floating up there, there's nothing you can do to increase your rainfall. But if you have a cloud that is just looks like it's primed and it could rain, you could prime that cloud. But I can't imagine that they actually have to do that much here. It rains a lot.
Yeah. Well, it might be people like me who are blowing clouds like I'm about to right now.
Possible. Could you imagine if you could like put precipitation in those clouds
I was
and
just
just like
thinking that too.
you're just like I'm gonna seed this cloud and then you just like blow a smoke over somebody you don't like and make it rain on them? Like,
If they make a new Captain Planet, whoever has the ring for water should just be like Captain Planet.
bro,
Yeah.
I saw a thing about Captain Planet the other day where they were like, if I was Captain Planet, I would have fucking been like Thanos and taken all of their rings and just been like the fucking it was like Captain Planet with all the other characters'
Well,
rings and he was like
isn't the villain the person trying to take all their rings?
I think
I
so.
thought that was like the whole.
Is that the point of it? Is that there's a villain trying to take all their rings?
If not, that's a total lost opportunity. Like that's exactly what the villain should be doing.
Just I don't remember Captain Planet enough.
Captain Planet would be called so woke right now.
Dude, yeah, they'd make fun. They'd make so much fun of him.
Yeah, it would be the villains of it. If they went all out with the villains of it, I'd make it the most woke movie just to piss people off.
Like the villains of the Republican Party or some shit like that. It's
Yeah.
like Donald Trump is the villain of the fucking Captain Planet movie.
I would love for it to be Alex Jones. He just call it Captain Planet. He's a globalist. He's trying to make frogs gay. His character just makes frogs gay, and so Captain Planet has to help
Oh,
restore balance to the frog kingdom.
so ridiculous.
Well, if anybody wants to write that script, Josh and I are always available, and we can help you out with that.
We'll offer our script writing services.
Yeah, we'll use a lot of Chat GPT. Don't get us wrong. Don't get it twisted. But it'll be a fucking shit show of a story that'll be super entertaining. And I think I could convince Alex Jones, even though I don't know him. You live close enough to him. You could go.
Where's Alex Jones live?
Austin.
Austin? Of course
Yeah.
he lives in Austin.
Well, he's always been in Austin. I think he
I'd
was
live in
the one
Austin
that
if I could.
I think he was the one that convinced Joe Rogan to move to Austin.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I always kind of assumed it was fucking, I always kind of thought it was Ron White.
Really? I didn't know Ron White lives there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ron White lives in Austin.
It's kind of funny how all these comedians are moving there, and then Austin, from what I hear, is kind of turning into another LA that the rest of Texas hates. So they're
Dude,
just moving
I love
somewhere.
Austin. Yeah, but
Austin was cool. I like Dallas a lot better.
I like Dallas too, but like Austin, dude, Austin's just a nice. I've worked in Austin a lot, and it's chill as fuck, man. It's a cool fucking city. It's a cool city when you can spend a lot of time there and get like to know it.
That's where I had
It's
my
just
first kava drink.
it's a lot more. It's just more. Dallas is very fast paced. Austin just feels a little bit chiller and just a little bit not as fast paced. The traffic's starting to get shit there. Their highway
Mhm.
system is not great in Austin. It's hard to get around there. That's the only thing. But like if you live downtown and you just walk everywhere, Austin's a great fucking city to be like just downtown and hang out.
Well, all right, man.
Trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to touch on. While we were I want to go back to RDJ real quick for a couple minutes and then we can
Yeah.
call it. But I just want your opinion on this because we haven't really talked about it here. And how do you feel about RDJ coming back to Marvel as Doctor Doom? Like, you have a take on this, or
I have a pretty general take on it, and it's that it's probably a little too late with Marvel, at least with me at this point, for me to actually give a fuck. Unless if there's something really cool they could do with Doctor Doom to where it's like it's Tony Stark somehow
I
as
kind of think
Doctor
that's what they're
Doom.
doing. Yeah, I kind of think that's what they're doing. I do think that they've kind of convoluted everything with like the alternate multiverses and just like it opens up the possibility of they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want, which like I guess on one hand is cool, but I also feel like if you're not giving yourself limitations, I feel like you need some sort of limitation so that you're not just throwing everything you have at it. Like I feel like limitations allow your creativity to go in a direction that you didn't think so because you had limitations.
Yeah, and the problem is without these limitations, there's no sense of urgency to the story. There's no like
No, there's not.
if someone dies, it well, we'll
Yeah,
just
they're like
have
you're
a
like, "Oh, they're going
new
to come back."
universe. Yeah,
Exactly. They come back
that's
from the
the
multiverse.
same fucking problem Mortal Kombat has right now.
Yeah.
In a lot of stories with these fucking multiverse things, and I think we touched on this before too. It's a cop out. It really is a storytelling cop out when you have these multiverses, and like I said,
Yeah.
that lack of urgency to a story really, at least for me, makes it just bland. So I
Yeah.
can't stand it.
I
But
think
RDJ in the Marvel universe is always good. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a moneymaker.
I think they're trying to right their wrongs. I think that they know that they went kind of overboard. And look, Disney was pushing Marvel to pump out content for Disney Plus, and I think that's why things went off the rails so hard. And they started making TV shows that they didn't want to make. And I think when you stretch your effects department and you stretch, your production management, like Kevin Feige, I think when you stretch these people too thin, they start pumping out, and you got them pumping out too much quantity. the quality takes a hit. So their quality took a hit, and I do think that they are trying to right the ship. We'll see what happens with Fantastic Four. I did not like Captain America this year. I do. I'm enjoying Ironheart though. I think it's a
Didn't
cool
they
series.
cancel that already though?
No, it only got, I think they only made, it was only one season and it was only going to get 6 episodes. Marvel
Oh,
is not making shows that get multiple seasons. The only show that they've made so far that has had multiple seasons is Loki. Every other season they've made has been like a special, like one of those one-off comics basically, where it's just like there's a one-off show, 6 episodes, we're in and out. This is just kind of buying some time. The only show, yeah, Loki and Daredevil are the only shows that they've done that are getting that. Loki
Daredevil's
has
so
two
cool.
seasons, and Daredevil's going to get a second season. So, and I really like Daredevil, and I do think Ironheart's good, but I think that Ryan Coogler being attached to Ironheart kind of made it better. Like whatever he got in there and fixed on the story before he was involved, like I think he made it a lot better. So I haven't finished it yet. I still have 2 episodes of that, but it's, if you like Iron Man and you want to see a more like, how does somebody as smart, basically Ironheart, what I like about it is it's like, how do you take a poor black girl who's potentially almost as smart as Tony Stark and can build an iron suit? How do you do that when you have financial limitations? Tony Stark could do whatever he wanted because he had all the money in the world to do whatever he wanted. But this is like, how do you take somebody from a poor neighborhood who's just that smart? How do they do it without the resources? And it's kind of an interesting take on the Iron Man story.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm
You've
hoping
kind
that
of
they get a
convinced me.
cooler. I'm hoping they get a cooler Iron Man suit, and they're really leaning into like the mystical world. Like there's been a there's like a character kind of like who's like a Doctor Strange sorcerer, like from his world, and like and uh I know who the main villain is at the end. Um but I don't want to, I don't
Oh, you
want to
could
give
spoil
away
it for me.
spoilers. Okay. I don't know how much you know about the Marvel Comics universe, but Mephisto's the end
Oh,
game
okay. Okay.
here, and it's Sacha Baron Cohen playing Mephisto. So like,
What?
yes, so
Well, that's
he
cool.
shows up.
Okay,
He's
you just sold me
Yeah, dude. So
on Ironheart.
okay,
But Dexter just came out today. It's a great month for entertainment right now. We're
yeah,
gonna get the Mortal Kombat trailer. We got fucking Dexter out on streaming. This is probably gonna come out in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks. So this will kind of be a
yeah,
little bit old
but
news, but still, like Superman, and then Jurassic Park, which I heard was shitty, unfortunately.
as soon as it's on Prime, I'm gonna watch it. I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna go watch it in the theaters. So, but I will see Superman tonight. I started season 2 of The Sandman yesterday. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch season 1 of that?
No, I did not.
Okay, Netflix, but it's they won't be doing any more seasons of The Sandman since it's a Neil Gaiman property. But it's like my favorite Neil Gaiman property. I love those comic books growing up. It's a really good comic book series. I think Enter Sandman by Metallica. I know that he's touching on like Eastern European fairy tales, but I think that Neil Gaiman and Metallica were basically I think they're pulling from the same source material, and there's a lot of, when you listen to the lyrics in Enter Sandman, there's a lot of similarities in the opening, in the first graphic novel of the Sandman.
Does he come
So
during while you sleep?
yeah, so Sandman is about basic. So what the Sandman series is about is you're dealing with Dream, who is the king of the dream world, and like
Mm.
he enters your dreams and like can see things, and essentially, so the first season he's captured by he's captured by a mortal basically who's able to trap him for like 100 years and take all of his things that gave him magic powers. So he's like, you're basically watching him like get his things back so that he can rebuild the world of dreams, because dreams have become like kind of come off the rails and nightmares are starting to take over people's vision and things like that. So
Did you
it's
know this was a similar storyline to um, Doki Doki Panic, which in America is known as Super Mario 2. So Super Mario 2 wasn't created as a Mario game.
No, yeah, it was rebuilt, and it looks like you can tell from the soundtrack and like the fact that like there's never another dinosaur or anything in any like in that fashion, like the way that the characters look in Super Mario 2. But
Yeah.
I love Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
And dude, the score on Super Mario 2, that like fucking that like the guitar, the beep, 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 beep,
Dun, dun,
beep, beep,
dun,
beep,
dun,
beep,
dun,
beep,
dun,
beep.
dun, dun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love that.
Me too. So yeah, that story is there's two kids that are reading some book about dreams, I guess, and then there's one page missing from it, and they get sucked into the book, and they're in a world where it's a world of dreams, but this guy's like using some sort of machine to take all the good dreams out. So now the world is kind of coming off the rails. It just reminded me of what you described about Sandman.
That's crazy. How did how did that game become Super Mario 2? Do you know the story of that?
As far as I know, it was just not marketable as much, and that the because Super Mario 2 in Japan is known as the Lost Levels in America, and the Lost Levels was just way too hard of a platform game to release, or so they thought. The Japanese Nintendo thought that.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, shit, what can we release that coincides with this? And I guess they came up with Doki Doki Panic. And there's some subtle changes in there. Um, it's like very Arabic influenced, I guess, kind of like an Aladdin world.
Mm,
Um, which you could kind of tell with some of the, like the little vases and the sand that you have to
yeah.
fucking dig
Yeah.
through. Um, which is
Yeah.
funny because I always found. Go ahead.
My first thought when I think of that game is waterfalls
Yeah,
and Birdo.
that's one of the things they change in the game is that the waterfalls in the Japanese version, the water goes down so fast that apparently it gave some people seizures,
What?
like
That's crazy.
epileptic seizures. Yeah, and so they slowed it down. Um, Man, I wish I could give the guy credit who I saw on YouTube, but he covers, I think it's Cosmic or something like that, and he covers all like the changes between Doki Doki and Super Mario 2. It's pretty
Interesting.
interesting.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
watch that. I'm gonna go watch that. There was one other video game thing I saw this week, and it's from the 80s, so I thought it was super interesting. And it have you ever heard about this? They used to be able to there was a game that came out at some point that you could basically that was on a cassette player that plugged into your system, and you could play from like the cassette, but basically they broadcasted the game over radio and you had to record it onto a cassette tape. And I'm like, what does that sound like? I want to know.
Man, I want to get my hands on that.
Bro, me too. I was looking on eBay trying to find one because I want to get my hands on that cassette tape because I want to fucking like just run it. Like I want to hook a cassette player like up to my interface and just like sample the fucking like whatever the video game sounded like over the radio. But
That's
like,
really weird. How did that
yeah,
not take
dude. So you
off?
could, I don't know, dude, but yeah, it was only one game. They broadcasted it over the radio. You could record it onto a cassette tape, and then you had to have a special player that plugged into your console to play that game. But yeah, dude, look into that. It's crazy. I was reading about it this week. But wild times, man, wild times.
Well, we'll see if we exist as a planet by the next time we are set to record. If not, it was nice knowing you.
All right. Well, all right. Well, thanks
Leave it on a
everybody. It's
positive
been
note.
passed out. Yes, we
Later,
are.
guys.
Till next week.